Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. This episode, we're going to be talking about a new project that's emerging called Gem Nodes. This is a node-based project, hence from within the name. And just a little disclaimer, this is a sponsored video. I am lucky enough to be here with not one, but two members of their team. I am here with both Jay and Alex, and they're going to be helping address some major questions that I have, and I know many people in the community would also have about the project. And so let me first go ahead and introduce them, or better yet, let them introduce themselves. So, hi, Jay. Hey, Alex. How's it going?
Good, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
All right. No
Could you guys,
problem.
could you guys just describe a little bit about who you are and what your role is with the company for Gem Nodes?
Yeah, so my name is Alex. I am the co-founder of Gem Nodes, our node project, which is going to be located on the Avalanche network. I have been working in computers for a long time. As soon as I was 16, I got my first laptop. I've been working with code, trying to become a system administrator, trying to get my certifications and things like that, just all around computers. And I stumbled across crypto at an early age, and I've been all about it ever since.
Well, thank you very much for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I'm Jay. Yeah, I've been around crypto specifically since I want to say about 2015.
Ooh,
But I have a background in business. I have a background in tech as well. And my role here is basically overseeing the whole development and also being the strategist on the what the numbers are and basically the whole plan on the whole project. So yeah, that's my role here.
great. Well, I've got a list of questions that I prepared for both of you, and we're going to be getting that in just 1 second. But I do want to also let everyone know we have some great news. So, from the team at Gem Nodes, we do have a whitelist spot available that will be a giveaway. You can check me out on Twitter at CryptoAtlasYT. I will be posting the details on that. I will also be posting that information as a link down in the comments below this video. So if you want to be able to have a chance to get in on a whitelist spot for Gem Nodes, you will be able to find out more information down below on that. Okay, so also, everyone, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing, it's my own opinion, my own research. Go do your own research. I'm going to provide a link to GemNode's official Twitter account and their website in the description on their Twitter account. They also have a link to their Discord here. So let's go ahead and roll on into the first questions. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Can,
Absolutely.
can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, so we are a nodes as a service and a DeFi as a service platform. We are doing an encompassing umbrella all over everything DeFi. We will be touching on a little bit in what is our Gem universe um, in a later question. But right now, everything is going to be all about nodes, and we are going for longevity. We are going for sustainability, and by doing that, we are helping our community. We are all about the community here with our node project. We do community votes all the time, trying to see how the community lies and how they want us to run our project, because that's what matters to us. We've had a few community votes so far, such as our ICOs, our multi sig, and things like that.
I love it. The next question is, what are your long-term goals?
Our long term goals is to not just have a node project like many other node projects out there, but to actually touch base on everything DeFi, liquidity pools, staking, and bonding, and as well as having offline assets as well, such as real estate. And we want to touch on everything as well as gaming too. Have play to earn games, with NFT integrations. We want to have our project not just last 1 2 years. We want it to be there for the long term, just 10, 20 years, as long as we possibly can.
And do you currently have an audit?
Yes, we currently have an audit, and we are going to go for a CertiK audit. All of them, actually.
Yeah, I think for the Certic audit, yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit once we get closer to the node release. But yeah, so Certic's one. There's another one by Hacken. So we're just weighing out the options of both, or even maybe considering both.
I know as far as my community goes, when you mentioned CERTIC, that'll definitely ring a bell for a lot of people in my community space because of how often I've covered SafeMoon. And when SafeMoon had gotten their audit, they went through CERTIC. So I know that there are a lot of people out there when they hear that automatically, they're like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of a reassurance there. Sure, there's lots of auditors. Auditing is not even a sure thing that projects are totally safe, but I love to hear that you guys got some stuff going on in that space for sure. The next question for you is, can you elaborate a little bit on how your bond system will work?
Sure, I
Yeah,
could kind of cover that one, if you'd like, Alex. No, it's just the bond system is basically we're reducing the price, right? So we're selling a bond, and what it is just they're getting a reduced price on the token, but what it does is it locks their ability to claim that for about 7 days, right? And the percentages, we're still working out, some of the percentages on the discount and the lockup period. But as far as right now, it's about 7 day lockup period and a 20% discount. And all that really is doing is just giving us a little bit more flexibility when we're doing where we're acquiring nodes fast and just moving a lot of through pools and liquidity and everything. It gives us a little more, I guess, buffer, right? So
Hmm.
we're not going to be focusing totally on bonds. It's not going to be our primary focus, but it's just another tool that we'll have on our entire gem universe ecosystem.
I find it very interesting the dynamics of how the evolution of cryptocurrency, blockchain, this whole market space in general is moving forward. And hearing terminology like bonds is something that we're starting to hear more frequent, especially with node type projects. So I think it's definitely an exciting space to see what you guys are going to be doing with that. The
Yeah,
next,
absolutely. I really think it's just now that that's a bond, right? So I think in just my personal opinion, I think all nodes should encompass, or add some sort of bond system to their already existing, itinerary of options, right? And that's just one that we wanted to explore. Now, like I mentioned before, that's not going to be our primary concern or our primary focus, but it is another tool, right? That we'll have at our disposal.
correct. Do you have plans to lock liquidity, and why is your decision on which way ever you chose for that?
yeah. So we definitely want to lock our liquidity just for the safety of our community. A lot of our decisions are based on the community and helping them feel safe with being in our node project. We we have touched on this a little bit before, but having the community a part of our project, having them be intertwined with us, definitely is going to help bring assurances to them, and that's why we want to lock our liquidity.
Okay. And I noticed that you guys have some things going on with NFTs here. I'm also going through your website as we're talking. So, in regards to the NFTs, will your NFTs be a limited or an unlimited supply run?
They're going to be extremely limited, especially with the NFT boost for our diamond list, whitelist spots. Those are going to be extremely limited. Only the people that got those spots will have those NFTs. We
Right.
don't. Yeah. Do you have
Yeah, and
anything to
also
add?
to add to your point, Alex, those are not only going to be limited, but they're also going to be very specific, right? So there's going to have different tiers. We're going to have based on how many nodes are per wallet, and then based on that, we'll have an amount or a fee, right? Or a cost. But even so we don't have all those numbers, squared away yet. We want to have phases where we proceed
Right.
for, right? Like even our pre-sale is kind of like a phase one, a phase two, right? And the reason we kind of did that is because in order to really have a kind of smooth launch or not where bots are buying it or it's just a huge mess. We've seen other projects where it's a mess, right? Just on launch. So one of those that's why we separate into phases. So we're able to see where the liquidity is, how many people are creating nodes versus how many are planning to sell, right? So that's why we kind of mix those into together, or in one. We just updated the white paper earlier this morning that includes all this plan and all this info. And so that's the same process that will apply to the NFTs. But to answer that specific question, yeah, they're going to be very limited, but we don't have these specifics yet.
Okay. And can you share any new details on Gem Universe? That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, we want to have a broad scoop on everything DeFi, as well as having games and things such as that. I'm actually working with a game developer right now to have a play to earn game with NFT integrations where characters are the NFTs and those characters are optional, and you have to buy the NFT to get that character in that game.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's going to further add liquidity to our token for sure.
Mhm.
Um, and
Yeah. If I could add to that, Gem Universe really what it's the whole plan of it is ha being an entire universe in itself, right? So whatever we define as DeFi, which is decentralized finance, right, at its base, but we want to encompass what that is into a one hub thing, right? Like that's why we call it a Gem Universe, which is going to have metaverse stuff, but it's also going to encompass other factors in DeFi, which isn't just node related, right? It's going to have stuff like AR, metaverse stuff, DAOs, pools, all everything that really is DeFi, all into one hub, right? Games, like he was saying, all this new technology that's coming out, we want to have it all in one hub, but also tie it into Gem, the token, somehow, right? And the way we saw that is to have it all in one hub. So that was one of the critical moments where we decided to call it a universe and have it be the hub of our ecosystem. Um, because that only will not, or rather that it's not only going to sustain the node payouts for the very long term, it's also going to have it's going to give it utility, right? It's going to give gem utility, it's going to give it usefulness, it's going to give it an entire ecosystem where people can interact with it without having to just rely on, hey, I'm going to go in a website every other day or something and claim my rewards. Now I have something, instead of just selling that reward, I have something to do with it, right? I can go play, I could go do anything really that we're going to add on here. Now, something really important, and I think that's why you asked that question, any new details? Yeah, we don't want to give everything out just yet.
Give us
I know
everything,
Alex
man. Come on,
mentioned,
just spill the
yeah,
beans. Give us
that would be great,
all the
man.
news.
That would be awesome, man. But
Forget the NDAs, right?
yeah, we can. That'd be true, right? Give everybody in the community an NDA, and then we'll talk. But yeah, man, it's just we figured that it's just, I mean, self-explanatory, right? When I said earlier, it's just we want it to be a hub, really, and it's just, I think, I don't know if you've read some of the white paper we said before, but we updated the white paper to just kind of reflect how we'll switch from gem nodes, right? Because gem nodes will be capped at a certain amount, right? So this isn't where we're going to have an unlimited amount of nodes and then just it's just that's not really sustainable, right? Specifically with these kind of higher yielding, APRs that we have. So we cap them, and then we're going to rebrand into Gem Universe. So we become Gem Universe. Gem nodes will still be the same thing in the sense that the nodes as a service and DeFi as a service, but all that will encompass what Gem Universe really is.
So, with that being said, you've already kind of lightly touched on this, but if you can, just go ahead and cover some of the key points again that we've already talked about in this video, and then anything else that you can add. My next question is, what are your plans to make this sustainable long term?
definitely having a diversified definitely diversifying our assets in our treasury,
Hmm.
as well as having a use for our token, not just noding up. We
Right.
we want to give the community as much of a use of our token as possible.
That's a very good point. So I guess if you look at it by time frame, it would be, from node release. Um, the plan is to obviously have assets, right? So some of them are going to be, validator nodes on the AVAX network, and just diversifying that portfolio. But that's for the long term. It's going to be primarily offline acquisitions, right? So like real estate properties. It doesn't have to be apartment complexes. It doesn't have to be, rental properties. But it is something offline to mitigate if there is a bear market.
Right.
A lot of projects just kind of fall, and then just they're unrecoverable at that point. There's not much that you can do instead of rather just add a ton of liquidity and then buy it all back up and make it sustainable again. But that's already faulty. So we wanted to make sure we have something that is kind of bear proof to crypto, right? Because crypto is Oh man, it could go 50% one day and then drop 70%, and it's those swings kind of break projects. So we want to make sure we're providing something that that as a fail safe in case that happens. So and then for the long term, like we touched earlier for the gem universe, we'll have a token that's usable other than just buying nodes, selling the token, and then nothing else, right? Or adding little things like NFTs, right? We want to have an entire universe. So that's some of the key differences, right? And all these phases that we call them, they're going to happen specifically when there's a reaction to something, right? So one of the things that we're planning to launch with is, or one of the strategies I should say, is that when we decide, right, we have a phase of like let's say 75% of people from this pre-sale buy a node, then we don't really necessarily have to apply a sell tax because only 25% of those tokens are potentially being sold. So it's just some of these measures that we decided to take um, to smooth things out are also being applied in a sense to the long-term sustainability, and then encompassing the gem universe. You know,
It's one thing that I really want to note too. You said that if there's a bear market, like you went into the explanation of some other elements. So I already know you guys agree with me on this, but it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. We are going to go up and we are going to go down. It's just how market cycles work. Unless a project completely rug pulls, if it goes down to zero and it doesn't exist anymore, then there's no more potential behind it. But as long as the project has people trading in it, it's still actively pursuing, doing things. You'll just have random moments, right? Federal Reserve makes some sort of remark. Boom. All of a sudden, that has an impact on price. The President of the United States says something. There's a new regulation that comes out. Uh, you name it. There's so many factors that come into play that makes it really unpredictable. So I think it's incredible that you guys are designing things in preparation because that this is part of the headache that we go through as investors. And especially with newer projects, you can start to get a little bit of a rally go up, and then all of a sudden it starts taking a massive hit, and then everyone's already freaked out. They already think,
right?
well, yeah, this was a rug pull. It's like, no, 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 no. Look, the price isn't zero. It's pulled back a bit, but it also had a massive percentage increase. There was FOMO. There's these reasons. And then it's that whole sense of recovery. I like the fact that you guys are designing incorporating mechanisms to help fight against these situations.
Of course,
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
all here about the community. They have built us, and we are here to build them up for sure.
Well, with that being said, those were my main questions that I wanted to ask for you. I know that if other people have more questions, they could reach out to you guys via Twitter, or ideally, I'm assuming it would be your Discord.
Yes, our Discord is definitely our hub for everything on our community. You can definitely check us out on Twitter, but ultimately head to our Discord. That's where everybody's going to be at. We have a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of community events, and we have a lot of fun with our community there. So that would definitely be the place to go.
Yeah,
And
for now, right? Until Gem Universe is live.
then head over there.
Yeah.
So, Alex,
Yes, yes,
Jay, do you
sir.
guys have any other final notes that you wanted to add before we do wrap this up?
Um, I would say that keep posted in our medium, keep posted on our Twitter because we are always adding something, always adding some news to keep everybody interested in our project. We
Absolutely. Absolutely agreed. And also follow subscribe to Crypto Atlas, right?
I appreciate it, everyone. Well, Jay, Alex, thank you so much for your time and sharing information about gem nodes. Again, if anyone is interested in finding out more information, I will be providing details in the description, links to these in the description below. And there is a whitelist giveaway that through the partnership here with Gem Nodes, well, the sponsorship here with Gem Nodes and over on my Twitter side, you guys can go take a look over there to be able to enter in for that. So thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button, click the bell icon. God bless, and I will see you in the next episode.